Welcome, y'all. We back with another episode of the Squid Games Aftermath Podcast. I am your host, DeAndre. We in the building, and I have a very, very special guest with me today. None other than the queen herself, the Boston Queen, Marina, player 77 in the building. What's happening?
What's up, my man? How you been?
We doing all right. We doing all right. We trying to
Yes.
take care of business out here. How you doing? Seeing all the episodes come out. Well, except
Woo!
for the finale.
I want more, man. 10 episodes isn't enough. I want like 20, give me it all. But yes, I'm enjoying every last minute of it. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm a fan at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I keep saying it's a new hashtag, release the tapes.
Yeah, right?
Release the tapes.
You know.
Yeah. I know what's going on now. Well, we're going to jump right into it. Marina, pleasure to have you. Why did you apply for Squid Games, the challenge?
Honestly, I love the original show. Probably like a million others said this. But yeah, my brother sent it to me on Facebook. And I just applied. And 4 days later, I got the call. And then the year-long process, as you know, happened. And then here we are. So it was just kind of like for shits and giggles, and it happened. So
the things you never really expect to happen sometimes come to fruition. So you a true testament to that.
Yes.
So you get you apply, months go by, and then you find out you're on the show. So the night before you leave and head out to London, what are you thinking your last night packing at home?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I had no emotions. It was like going into championship game, when you're like focused, and I had no emotions. I was just like, I kept it to a minimum, and like, as the show kept going on, I just kept, building it up and just suppressing it just so I can just stay focused. And honestly, I just became numb in a healthy way.
Yeah, that's a good way to have it. You just chilling, going on with the flow, not thinking too much about it. You just don't take whatever God gives you.
Exactly.
So, you get over there, you get in the hotel, and then they say, it's time to get to the first game. So we head out and we get in the tents, and you can tell when you get in the tents, you look up, you can kind of tell it's red light, green light. Like, it's not really a surprise what the game is.
Oh,
but
yeah.
when you walk into the red light, green light arena for the first time, what's going through your head?
Like, I'm here. Like, this is it. Like, we're about to do this. Like, let's go. I was, we were in the tents for a little while, and like, as you sit there and you just like, the anticipation just keeps getting higher and higher, and you're just like, I just need to release it. So I was ready walking in there.
And she was ready. She was focused. She's like, this is what I came here to do, is freeze
my
butt off in red light, green light.
Yeah, let's go. We in London. Let's do this.
Let's do this. So we get the practice round real quick, and then it's time for the real thing. So what's your strategy?
I had no strategy. That was my strategy. I literally, I'm going to ride the wave. That's been my mantra for my whole entire, life experiences. I'm just going to ride it out and see, adapt as I go, basically.
Adapt as you go, and that's what you got to do in a game like this. So we get started, and you take off. We get our first pose. Be there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What's going on in your head?
Honestly, I played basketball most of my life. That was my favorite sport to play. So, like, when you did those defensive drills and you got in your squat position, I've been there. But for 10, 15 minutes, I was like, what? And then I saw this girl in front of me, and she had her foot on the other the person in front of her's heel, and she was in a tougher spot than I was. So I just kept saying, like, that's definitely harder than what I'm doing right now. So that kind of got me through in that first position, but I was not comfortable. Not comfortable.
She was like, Coach, blow the whistle already. What you mean? Did you forget? You have a whistle?
I'd rather do suicides.
Yeah, no, I feel me too. Oh, never again.
No.
But we keep moving. 77 is making her way through down the line slowly but surely. She's getting close. When you see that finish line within sight, what are you thinking?
I had maybe I had maybe 30 seconds left on the clock at that point, and I was pretty far back where I was questioning whether if I sprinted, I was gonna make it or not. But I had nothing left in the tank. We were holding our positions for a very long time. So this was it. I was either going out, trying to cross the line, or I was making it to the next round. So once that doll turned her head, I sprinted as fast as I could, and my squib didn't go off. So we're good.
Hey, we good, coach. We good. You check me? We're good. We good. Hey. And then 77 makes it past the first game. Everything's going as planned. It's smooth sailing. Everything's going as planned with no plan. And that's how we doing it.
Yes.
So, congratulations. We on to the next phase. And the next phase is going into the dorms. So, when you first step into the dorms, what's going on in here?
Man, this is a huge place. Like, there's so many beds. I mean, seeing us in one room together was overwhelming. I mean, you know that you're a type of personality that, like, grasps the casting attention. So, walking in there with a whole bunch of personalities that are kind of like your personalities was very, like, overwhelming.
Yeah, no, it definitely was a lot. So when you get in there, you thinking like, I know you don't have a plan, but initially, like, are you like, okay, I want to make a few friends, or I want to meet everybody? And then who you end up getting close to?
I had this one person, Chris083. We kind of met, going into the dorms. So I was kind of staying close to him. Turns out I had no idea where he went in the dorms. There's so many people. So I just picked a bed and I just kind of, again, riding the wave.
Okay, she just in here just like, look, I'm going to take the wave wherever it's going. You can't predict waves. One thing about waves, if you ever been surfing, it's just going to go where it wants to go. Yeah. This is not rocket power where it looks like, okay, you can just do this and whatnot. The wave is literally just going to go whatever direction. You just kind of just got to flow with it.
Yes, so. You either fight it or you flow with it.
Exactly. She's flowing with it. Take notes at home. You got your notepads out because she's speaking right now. She is speaking. So we get in there, and then 200 ultimately gets eliminated by forces that we don't see. What's going on in your head when you find this out?
Yeah, that's when I realized the game was getting like sneaky kind of, like it's getting serious. Like people can like stab people in the back and you could be anonymous about it. It kind of got like dangerous. I was starting to think like, wow, this is really, I don't know, this is a real social game now.
Yeah, 100%. It says when everybody's eyes finally woke up like, whoa, snap, this is not summer camp. This is Squid camp. So we head on to the second game and we get into the white room and see there's 4 lines. So what's going through your head when you walk in this white room for the first time?
I told myself going into it, trust your gut. Like, just trust it. Don't fight it. Just whatever you feel, just go with it. So I just felt 4 in the beginning. And as, time went on, I didn't feel 4. My intuition was pushing me to 1. So I went to line 1 and I stuck there. And then you know what happens next.
What happens next is chaos. The first line goes in there, and then they are swiftly exited because they could not make a decision. Second line gets in there, boom, they out too. Then the third line gets, and they finally come to a decision. And you are fortunate. Your intuition was right. Your chakra was right. Everything was going on, and you get blessed with the circle. So, bullet dodged. So when you get in there and start the circle, how are you feeling about this?
I mean, I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50, like, okay, like, I got the easier shape, but it's not guaranteed. Yeah, nothing's guaranteed in this game. So I felt a little calmer going into it, knowing that I had the circle, but I needed to do it. Like, I just needed to do it and figure it out, but nothing was guaranteed in my mind.
Yeah, she said, look, I'm not planning this either. We just gonna try and just swing this, coach. And what should we do? We gonna swing it and knock it out the park. And that's what she did. She took care of business. and then went back to celebrate with her line leader, Mark, who I talked to earlier
Yes,
today. Check
sir.
this out. So Mark says hello.
Hello, Mark.
Hey,
My
he's a real
guy.
one.
Just to throw up the circle real quick for Mark.
Look out now. Look. I have very contrasting opinions with the circle people, but look, we already spoke about it enough. It is what it is. Y'all did
I was
that
in the
thing.
back of the line, man. I just picked the line.
And she just picked a line. Smart decision. So we get back in the dorms, and then there's this telephone booth that pops up. Are you thinking about getting this telephone?
As you see in the show, I don't touch nothing. I don't volunteer for nothing. It's most likely shit. So no, I'm an observer. I have a owl tattooed on me for a reason. I'm just a watcher. Like I just, I like to see things before I follow through with things. So I was not touching that phone. No, I was in my covers, underneath the covers, like peeking over.
Yeah, that's right. Smart. She's like, look, this is my game. I ain't got no plan, but I know that is not part of the plan. I know that. So, not 198 swiftly gets evacuated from the premises because he is opposite of your game. He is like, look, I'm going to touch everything. And that's not, mom said don't touch that when you go to the store. Don't touch. I told him not to touch that. But he decided to do that.
Twice.
So, exited. Yeah, twice. Good Lord. He must have got a lot of whoopings as a kid. Good Lord. So he's out of there. So we move on to the third game, and we walk into the room, and we see 8 lines. How are you figuring out which line you're going to do in here? You got to have a plan now.
Everyone was talking. Everyone thought it was tug of war. I'm thinking it's tug of war. I wasn't questioning anything. Excuse me. So I picked the tallest people, and I went with it. That's how I went with it. I just saw a line, and I went with it, and I gave myself a better chance. I mean, you saw those dudes in there. There's no chance.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And
you picked
girls was going against them. So
yeah, no,
I was just picking the strongest line. That was probably everyone's strategy at that point. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of big dudes in there. So what line number did you end up picking?
I believe 5. I think I picked 5.
Okay. And so when you walk in there and you see that it's not tug of war, what are you thinking in your head?
Nothing. It just went blank. Nothing. I just everything that I thought went out the window. They got me good. I got got.
Got, but she's sticking to her strategy and plan, even if she said she didn't have one. Her plan was not to be out of sight, out of mind. So she goes, let someone else be captain. And I'm assuming you just hop in a boat. We just gonna get in this one. Is there any strategy on the boat?
No, man. Again, I just let it all just play out the way it was supposed to play out. I swear. The only thing I hopped in the boat. I don't even know who was in my boat. To be honest with you, I was just straight on TJ.
Well, TJ is the captain, and he promises y'all that no one's going home. No one's leaving this boat, and he sticks to his word. Y'all get through there unharmed. Nobody goes home. And your whole team makes it through. Okay, so we're moving on.
Not one ship.
Y'all out of there, man. He said, all right, let's go. So take care of business. Marina is like, dang, this is kind of easy. A circle, not having to do it. Look, I like this game. Oh, man. You're gonna vote the people out that's getting annoying? Okay, we can do that. Dude,
yeah, so far so good. So far so good.
So far, so good. She was chilling the first week. Okay, she was chilling.
I really was.
I like it. So we get back to the dorms and we find out we have to do a vote off. Are you worried about your name being popped up in this vote off? So we eliminate 3 people. Are you worried about your name popping up on these 3 people?
No. Between us talking about in the dorms, who they made you talk about, who you wanted to vote off. No, I don't think my name came in discussion. I know a lot of people put a little target on their back as we were talking, so I was comfortable. It was just where, like, I don't know how to say this. It was more of like, do I want to put a target on my back by exposing myself too soon? So I didn't know where to place my vote. So I stayed in the back of the line.
She decided to stay in the back and like, look, I'm gonna keep doing it. It's been working so far, so I'm gonna keep on doing the same old thing.
Riding that wave, man, I tell you.
That's right. That wave is, I like that wave. I'm gonna have to jump on that wave. I keep trying to control some too many things sometimes. I'm gonna just start just chilling, you know? Yep. That seems like the way to go. And so we get 374, 330, and 161 eliminated. Who did you vote for?
Dr. V. I'm sorry, buddy. 330. I'm sorry.
Why?
Again, we all chatted, and in those chats, we discussed, should we play a chance game? And as the games, red light, green light, Dalgona at this point, the telephone, there's a lot of things that aren't in your hands, and it's already left a chance. So why would I volunteer myself for another chance game? I thought that was very, manipulative in my mind, because he kept rehashing that. So I already knew my vote going in.
She already knew her vote going in the game.
This game, I know, but Dr. V is awesome. He's awesome.
Hey, he's a good dude, man. Leave him alone. Some people come out there, leave him alone. Well, we move on, and it's time for the second test. And that test is they bring 6 boxes up on the stage, and they need 5 volunteers. Are you thinking about maybe it's time to get out the back and the front?
Nope. No. Again, my parents taught me don't volunteer for nothing, because it's most likely.
She did say that.
Oh no.
She did say that.
Hell no. But one of my closest allies, Kyle, he volunteered himself, so it kind of got real when he volunteered himself. So
yeah, Kyle jumped up in there and said, "Look, it's time." I mean, we spoke to Kyle earlier today, so Kyle's episode will be coming out very soon, and he explains his reasoning behind that. He was ready to get somebody up on that here. So it was a good one. So then, yes, we get 5 people up there. We get 130 Jacobin. We get Kyle 79. We get Felicia 229, and we get why am I missing? Jesse. I always forget Jesse's number. I apologize, Jesse. 183, and we get 435 Joel. And those are the 5. And so with these 5 people up here, are you worried about anybody might be picking you?
Again, nothing's guaranteed. And by that point, there was less numbers, so your face is kind of more seen throughout the day, throughout the dorm life. So I started getting a little antsy. I would say a little bit antsy, but I was more nervous to lose Kyle in this game than, myself at that point. But I didn't expect what was about to happen at all. So
yeah. Well, what happens is, a lot of people get on up out of there. Jesse eliminates 2 people. Kyle eliminates 1 person. 435 is self-evicted. And our other person, Jacobin, up there, who gets an advantage, eventually goes home too, voted by Felicia. So your allies, yeah, that was savage. That was savage, definitely. And she has her reasons for doing what she did, man. I mean, it's a game, and
oh yeah.
So people need to leave her alone. Leave her alone.
People don't understand, that the game is the game. That was the smartest decision anyone has ever made. I think I would do the same decision.
Yeah, definitely. And those 2, unfortunately, were not out of sight, out of mind like Marina, man. They needed to take your own class on being out of sight, out of mind. They tried. Steven did tell me he tried to just be low-key and whatnot, but the thing is, unfortunately for him, they loved him, like the producers, and they brought him in at MIVs all the time, and people noticed this, and he couldn't help that. He was trying not to. He was actually telling them to stop doing it. So it was out of his control, man. Like that was
Yeah.
not, he couldn't do anything about that. And unfortunately, he got set up out for forces outside of control to go home. So
Yeah.
and Dr. Rick was just
Yeah.
an additional casualty.
So it was a sad moment, but again, nothing's guaranteed. When you think your game's going the way it's supposed to be going, other people are thinking otherwise and viewing you in a different light. So you could be thinking your game's going great, but in reality, it's shining a different light to everybody else. So
Yeah, 100%, all about perception. But we down to the 63. Oh, speaking of Steven, just texted me. What is happening?
Here's the
Did you hear what I just
ring.
said? Hold on. Kind of freaky. Oh, okay. He's asking me about some other stuff then.
Nothing juicy. All right.
Well, I'll let you know at the end of this what he says. Just said it's a little juicy, but I'll let you know what he said. That was weird. That was so weird. Anyways, we move on, and it's the final 63. So then we find out that some people do some chores, and they complete the chores, and you guys get a reward. And it is a picnic party. So when you see these picnic blankets come out, what are you thinking?
This is the one part in the game that I let my guard down. This is one part of the game that I wish I could go back and like do things a little bit differently. But I really thought it was a picnic, man. I really, really thought it was a treat. I know it sounds stupid because you're like, why would you ever think that they would do something nice for you? But like, no, I really thought it was a treat. And I picked my closest person, Chris, 083 since the jump. And he didn't say no. He didn't want to say no because I asked him. So he's like, I couldn't say no to you. And I was just like, don't put that on me, please.
Oh, that's tough. Did you get approached by anyone else to switch partners?
Nope.
Dang, Marina.
I don't. Yeah, man. It was very, very hard. And then, as those pairs were locked into place, I realized what was going on, and I knew in that moment.
Wow. No. He wasn't riding the wave.
No, I wasn't. I got off.
This is the first time she gets off the wave, y'all. See what happens when you get off the wave. Some crazy stuff starts happening.
It's a sad journey at this point right now. Going into marbles.
Well, going into marbles. So we find out, yes, it is marbles in 77 verse 33. So in TV, they just show pretty much who wins. They show the ending. They don't really show your guys' game. So tell me what happens in your game.
We picked kind of like a throwing game. So we drew kind of like a dartboard, and it was like the first ring was 1, the second ring was 2, and the third ring was 3. I think we did 2 sets of throwing our marbles, and then we counted up all of our points, and whoever had the most points won. And Chris was beating me in the beginning. He really was. I was really nervous, and I don't know what happened. He just fell off the wagon, and I came back and I stole it from him, and that was really hard. It was really hard. But what had to be done was done, and it was me or him, and I chose me every day. I'm betting on myself.
Man, that's what you got to do in a game like this, man. That's your homie, but at the same time, it's like, look, I can't just give it to you, So you do what needs to be done.
My saying was, I came here on a plane by myself, and I'm going home on a plane by myself.
Yep, 100%. Well, it's RIP 83, but we still love you, Chris. You a good dude, and Marina is fighting the rest of the game for you.
Yes.
So you finish out, and it's 31 people left. How you feeling with 31 people left?
It's quiet. It got quiet in the dorms. Starting to get surreal at this point. Like going from red light, green light to doing all those in dorm tests to doing, challenge after challenge and game after game, you just realize how much you've gone through and how far you've actually come. So seeing 31 on the board and knowing that it's out of 456, you start to appreciate where you are.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's it's very noticeable now. 60 people's still a lot technically. Like, it's 60 people, but in a big place like that. But 30, shush,
I could
massive.
taste it. I could taste the money, man. I could just feel it in my fingertips at that point.
Yeah, I can see. We can see it on your face now. We can see that. So, then they get back into the dorms and whatnot, and soon all the women round up together, and they kind of portray. I won't say you like being the catalyst, but you definitely have a role in this. Can you explain what's going on right now? With getting all the women together.
I just looked around and I saw 9 of us. I saw 9 of us, and the rest were all dudes. And I was just like, we gotta even this out. And in my head, if we even this out, I have 9 potential votes going into that, that voting process or test, whatever you want to call it. So like if we, grouped up and teamed up and strength in numbers, I had 9 chances. I felt better with 9 chances if we, made an alliance for this test to get into the next round. So I did it for the girls mostly because I wanted, us girls to get into the next round. All of us deserve to. And I thought the boys needed to battle it out a little bit.
But what about some of the guys that you were close with? What about them?
Again, it's you or them. I guess I went into maybe a little plan of like, you can get close to people, but like my weakness is like I definitely put people above me. So I just didn't want to get to the point where I go into my natural character and do that. So I was close, but I had to choose me and what was best for my game at the end of the day. Everyone's worthy of that money. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Okay. So you pick. This is essentially about you. You're using this as a shield. I follow you on getting all the women together, but at the end of the day, this is a strategy for you to be protected. Not necessary. More so you to be protected than protecting all the other women. Is that correct, or am I misleading?
Not for protection. It was you gain an alliance. So like if you have an alliance with big numbers going into that next game, like you can have, your odds or your chances of continuing are getting higher and higher. So I wouldn't say use it for protection, but like we all agreed, we all kind of were falling on the same page. It was time for the girls to shine, and like, doing it for anyone who wants to. I played football as a kid, you know what I mean? Going into a man's world, like it's different. So like I wanted to prove that we can be a part of the ending, and it doesn't have to be, male dominant like you see in most competitions.
Well, that's true. She spoke it now. She's trying to give the women some rep, and I think that was a very 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 smart move by you. Very very smart. I mean,
Thanks.
you did that. You did that. If it wasn't for that, then who knows what would have happened? Who knows?
Yes, it could have gone a million different ways. It really could have gone a million different ways. There was a lot of alliances and a lot, we've been there for a while at that point, so we all knew each other. We can't say we didn't know each other or our stories. So yeah, it could have gone a lot of different ways.
That's so. So then we get introduced to what the test is, and it's basically a schoolyard pick. We're gonna pick 20 people need to be picked, starting with the captain, TJ, and so on and so forth. You are happy with TJ being captain?
Anyone who wants to volunteer to be captain, by all means, I am not going to fight you. So I didn't have any hate towards TJ being captain or any doubts of TJ being captain. It was kind of like he wants to do it, so go ahead.
He wants to do it, and so he's gonna do it. And so everyone gets in line, and it is time to start the process. So TJ's first pick is Mai, and Mai gets picked. All the girls think Mai will pick the girls, and she needs to go through with the plan. What's going on right now? What's going on in your head?
This is her time to see if she's with the girls and stay true to her word, or she's gonna do what anyone else would do, and focus on their own game. So she showed me right there that she is iffy on trusting her. I would say she's definitely iffy because she obviously picked Chad, so she kind of just broke the chain right there. But
You cut her some slack though, because Chad and her were close to each other from the beginning. 286, 287. Long bond that's carries a long way. Does that kind of like I kind of understand where she's coming from, or still it's like you should have picked the girl?
It's a game, man. So I respect anyone's game. So if she picked Chad, then that's that. That just showed me that I couldn't trust her. I don't hold anything against her. It's just that's what I took from that.
Okay, simple enough. Got it. So then Chad is next, and Chad picks Mai, and Amanda is pissed. And then Dan is mad too because he said him and Chad made a deal. Well, Chad, yeah. Him and Chad made a deal. What am I doing? Mai picks Chad, and then Chad picks. Okay, here we go. I messed up. Chad picks Mikey.
Yeah.
And then Mikey picks you. Wow. Did you expect that to happen?
Not a doubt. Not a doubt in my mind. Yeah, me and Mikey kind of got close throughout the games and towards after marbles, and that we really, we didn't really have much of our people, as we would say. So I think we kind of glued towards each other once marbles kind of happened. And nothing's guaranteed, but I didn't have a doubt in that, and that's that situation right there.
You didn't have a doubt. Okay. Well, we didn't get to see your guys' relationship too much, so that's why you got to fill the people in on the gaps.
Yeah, we just had a funny relationship. I mean, so obviously his name's Mikey, my name's Marina. Our two names both start with M, but we wouldn't call each other by our names. Like, he would call me Mark Wahlberg, I would call him Michael Myers. Like, we would just start saying random names, so we would go back and forth. So it's just kind of like a humor, like that's just kind of like who I am too. So like I like to joke around, so it was kind of like nice to have someone where you could just take the edge off and joke around a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. I wish we got to see a little bit more of y'all relationship on camera, but we had other storylines to cover.
Yes, they did.
So then your turn to pick, and you say you're gonna get the ball rolling, and you decide to pick B18. So that's self-explanatory. You've already explained your thought process behind that. Do you have anything else to say behind picking B?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the whole girl power and getting the ball rolling, but B is my bunkmate, so, every time we got to a challenge, we always would sleep in the same area, so she's always been there. So I already knew my vote going into it.
Okay, simple as that.
Yes.
Then B picks Amanda, 19. And then Amanda says to the group that they need to even out the numbers moving forward, and the women are outnumbered, and they need to stand together. And there's a little speech that we don't really get to see the entirety of. Why don't you explain Amanda's little speech for the people back home?
I don't remember it, but basically basically she really wanted to get that ball going. She really wanted those girls to stick together, and I think my kind of maybe shook her mind about that, for her picking Chad, because that could have got it started earlier. But now that it's me, and then I picked B, and she picks Amanda. Now there's 4 of us. There's only 5 left. So I think she's saying it for the people that have any doubts. We're kind of swimming halfway across the pond here. We either can swim back or we can keep going.
Okay. So Amanda soon picks 393. And Dan is freaking out. 393. Blanking on her name. I apologize.
Jackie.
Jackie. I don't know why I keep forgetting Jackie's name.
No, it's okay.
Jackie.
It's okay.
Jackie wants to pick 451 Phil, her closest friend, and she decides to pick the cliffhanger because that's where that episode ended. But luckily, the rest of the episodes came out, so I can continue.
Yes.
She decides to pick Phil. And so when she picks him, how are you feeling about that? Because that's twice now.
Phil and Jackie were very close, so I already knew that alliance. And you start to realize, people who are really, really close, and Phil and Jackie were really, really close. So I kind of saw that coming, but I feel like Jackie had a lot of trust in Phil to carry out what she was trying to do there.
So you were okay with that?
I had no choice.
Okay, inside.
I can't be mad at. I can't be mad at someone's choice. I can't be mad at someone's choice. I really can't be mad. I already made it. That's not you know what I mean. That's kind of being a double dipper. I've already made it, and then I'm already criticizing people's choices. The plan's either gonna carry out or it doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at someone for choosing who they chose. So
okay, yeah, she said, I'm in the game, coach. So y'all do what you need to do for the rest of the time. As long as y'all get me in here, we all good.
Oh man, you make me sound selfish.
No, coach, I'm not. Look, I'm a bipartisan. I don't take sides. I just look at things from both sides of the picture, and then just go with what I see.
You're good at it.
So you happy you in the game. It's okay. The rest of the women, I want y'all to be picked, but hey, I was picked already, so I'm gonna pray for y'all.
Yes, I'm gonna pray that we can all stick together, and hopefully that girl power is a thing.
That's right. So then Phil decides to pick 278. Ashley gets it back to the girls. Then Ashley picks Sam 16 because that's her guy. So dang, another girl picking a guy.
I know. You can't force someone's hand. So that game was showing you people's alliances. That game was showing people's cards that people were trying to keep hidden, and it forced you to do so. So people just wanted to make sure that their people got through, whether that's a woman or a man. Some people went through with the plan, some people didn't, but it ended up, working out.
Yeah, definitely. So then Sam picks 23. 23 picks 51. 51 picks 221. Okay, everyone else gets picked. I ain't got to go through the line. Everyone else gets picked, and then James and Perna are the last 2 guys essentially to get picked. And Trey, sorry. And Chaz. Jesus, messing up. So then we have 20 people. What's the top 20? What's going on in your head? I think the last 20 people.
Top 20.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Just let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, top 20. Yeah, now it's getting real. There's only 19 people in front of me. $4.5 million. At one point there was 455. So there's, it's striking distance at this point.
Yeah. It is striking distance, and we soon we get a little montage of it's going to be Glass, bridge. So you enter the white room first, and you learn a couple dances and chants from Chaz first. I can't forget that important detail.
Yes, we did. Top 20. Yep.
So then you enter the white room, and there's something covered up with a black curtain. What are you thinking this is?
I had no ideas. I knew it was something tricky, something different, something we probably never have, talked about or imagined what actually it was. I never thought it was a claw machine underneath that curtain.
Well, surprise, surprise, it is. And the game deciding what the order of the game is, and you get basically, you get the teddy bear and give it to someone else. Interesting. So
Yes.
we get 287 Mai. She picks the first bear and gives it to you. Whoa, what is going on?
Winner, chicken dinner. Her reasoning wasn't really her reasoning really didn't make sense in my head. There's 20 people left. I feel like, sending people home based off of you haven't come up to me and talked to me, I feel like shouldn't be a reason anymore. But that was her reason. She did what she did. I had to take it, accept it, and take my place and try and get through this glass bridge, even though my number is really, really shit.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, the first one and it's 4. So, what do you I know you explained your reason, your headspace and whatnot, but is there anything that you can take away from this, or?
Earlier in the games, I believe someone said that 4 is bad luck in Korea, I believe. And every game, leading up to this glass bridge, I had a sense of calmness going into the white rooms, and it's like a self-confidence. So coming into this game, I felt a little different, and getting that number 4 and hearing what that means, I was just these are all bad signs. These are just all bad signs. I don't feel calm. It's a very different feeling, and I just got blasted with number 4. So this is off to a great start.
Man, crazy. Well, I'm gonna pray for you. But they don't show you giving a teddy bear and give it to somebody. So who do you give it to?
I give it to Savon, I believe. And it was number 13. So again, lucky number 13, you know what I mean? So all these signs are just showing, what I'm feeling. It's kind of going with it, so.
Got to at this point. So, everyone gets their teddy bear. And so you guys enter into the glass bridge arena. So when you walk in here for the first time, how are you feeling? Seeing the glass bridge?
One, these sets are incredible. When you walk into all these sets, they blow your mind away. You can think of what it's gonna be like, but they just go that extra mile, and it's just wow. So walking into that glass bridge and seeing, they killed it. I mean, I was just a fan, so I was wow, this is awesome. But 2, I was just this is it. This is the game I wanted to be at. This was my goal coming in here, was make it through to glass bridge. So I'm at my goal. I'm at my milestone where I want to be. So I was just kind of sucking it all in at that point.
Yeah, it looks amazing. So I can only imagine how it looked in person. I know the TV does not do it justice on how it actually was. So
no, it was like Christmas at a carnival, all put together in one, and I don't even know. It was just wow,
Yeah. Well, you guys you find out there's 17 tiles, and so then TJ gives a speech And then Roland proposes everyone take one turn, so each player has a 50-50 chance. You down with this, I'm assuming?
Yes, because that whole Roland's whole idea is basing it off of like giving us lower numbers a fighting chance rather than just being fish food. So you guys get a free skate to the next round. Um, coming into this, challenge, we all kind of wanted to just like not play the game like how you would want to be played, the backstabbing and all the drama and all the juiciness. So I feel like we kept a sense of like family to a degree. I mean, we were all, there's only one winner, so we all knew that in the back of our head. But like, I think we wanted to play like a fair, clean game, the people who got to the end, people got to the end. So going into it, that was just our fighting chance for us lower numbers. If everyone just gets a chance to just pick one tile, then everyone, did it. No one gets a free skate.
Yeah, no, it seems fair, as fair as you could possibly be. But at the same time, a lot of the game is luck, and the numbers kind of it's just what they do, unfortunately.
Yep.
So TJ is first, and he jumps, and he's gone just like that. Everyone kind of like, oh shit.
Literally, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like hits like, oh shit, we're back in the game. Wake up.
Yep.
Taz 221 is next. He is eliminated. So back to back. Trey is third. Trey picks right and is right. And so you're like, okay, keep on. Okay, so then it's your turn. So you agreed to overtake Trey.
Yeah.
And you decide on the glass. Tell me what's going on in your head when you're on this glass right now and you're deciding on which one to pick.
Obviously people are gonna be like, why did you overtake him? You're too nice. You're too stupid. That was so much money. Why would you? I would have to have made a tile decision anyway. So that's 17 tiles. The odds of Trey guessing at that point 13 tiles left correctly it's rare. Not saying it's impossible, but it's rare. So I'm next in line either way. So I'm going to follow through with the plan that everyone says. I'm not going to put a target on my back just yet. I'm not going to play dirty just yet because, I didn't feel like it was the right time. And I wanted to go out, with my fate in my own hands and not play a dirty game, to be honest with you.
Okay, it's very respectable. So you get on the tile, you pass Trey up, or well, you're on the same tile as him.
Yeah.
And so how are you deciding on which one you're gonna pick right now?
Like I said, my feeling. Wherever I wanted to go, which I should have done opposite because all the signs were leading like bad luck. So I should have went against my feeling at that point. But I just felt like the one in front of me was the one, based off of how the pattern was going so far. Because there was one, altar at that point. So I felt like it'd be the one in front. And obviously it's a 50-50 shot. So it's the other tile.
The other tile, Marina jumps.
Bye.
So close, man. So close.
It was really, really close, but super fun. Super. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about the world. There's so much out there. I've learned so much about taking chances, and a lot of things aren't going to be in your control in this life, so be grateful for however far you go, so the game kind of can teach you a lot of things. So I'm grateful as far as I wanted to go. I mean, I wanted to win all that money, but yeah, I made it to top 20. That's an accomplishment. I'm very grateful. So
yeah, no, definitely you did an amazing job. I mean, 17th place out of, am I right about that? 17? 16, 17?
Yep, 17. Yep.
17th place out of 456 applicants or people on the show, and then all the applicants, like, it's insane. I mean, insanely difficult, and you were able to do that. So I think hold your head high. At the end of the day, you just had to. It was a coin flip. It was coin flip. And
I always say to people that it doesn't matter if you're the smartest person in the room, the strongest person in the room, the most athletic. It didn't come down to any of those. You can have your best asset coming into the game being, all right, I know I'm going to be the tallest and strongest dude there, like, because I'm always the tallest and strongest dude in every room I walk into. But no game made, you know what I mean? Like, no game really was in a position to, like, show your best attributes. It was just totally based off of chance, fate. You just had no control over anything. Besides
definitely.
how you wanted to go out a little bit. Like, I wanted to go out with my fate in my hands. I didn't want to play a dirty game. I could have told Trey, no, keep going. Until you choose incorrectly, I'm not moving. But that was just gonna bite me in the ass in the next game.
Yeah, it would have been a tough road ahead for sure. So you unfortunately get eliminated there, and so when you get back home and whatnot, how are you feeling once you get back home?
I'm grateful to be home. I missed home. I did a really, really good job not to miss home. I told my family that I love them and that I will always think of them, but I really tried not to think of them, because if I did, and you're stuck in a dorm, like, you don't get to go outside, you don't get to go do normal things that you would do when you're stressed out or emotional. You're just constantly stuck in that same atmosphere of a stressful environment. So being home and being around your people, you're just like super, super grateful over the littlest things. Like, the littlest things you start to appreciate way more.
It's much well said. Well, like I said, Marina, it was amazing. You definitely, inspired a lot of people, especially with, when your leadership qualities needed to become forth, they came, and they definitely left a big impact on the game. I mean, you kind of changed the game for a lot of people. And so you did that. You did that for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I know my mama's the most proudest, so she'll appreciate those words for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I recognize you saved a bunch of people. And with that, I gotta give you hand claps at that, because not a lot of people did save a lot of people.
No, yeah.
But yes. With that, I appreciate you coming on the podcast today. It was wonderful having you. I really do appreciate you being here more than you know. And yeah, definitely, I hope, hopefully, we can see each other's catch up. We had to talk. I remember I've talked to you a couple times in dorms, but it wasn't.
There's a lot of people. I get it. There's a lot of people to get to know, and we don't have a lot of time to get to know. But I'll be seeing you around. I know that for a fact. I appreciate you having me on here, and I appreciate all the I just appreciate all of it, just all of it in general. The experience, the talks, friendships, the stories, everything.
I'll get right back at you.
Yeah.
Well, Marina, this was fun. Like I said, we over here appreciating each other, and that's a blessing in itself. But till next time, y'all, thank you, Marina, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace and blessings. We out here.